Hello and welcome to the first NOLO time of 2019. My name is Obed and with me is Soulja Boy's shady console supplier, Mr. Joel Young.
I've been found out, guys. It was me all along.
Unmask yourself like Vince McMahon. It's me,
It's
Austin.
me.
How you doing, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well, Obed. It's good to be back with you, man. I missed this the last 2 weeks, right? So it's been a bit, but we've got a lot of great stuff to cover today, and it's good to be back with you.
Yeah, same here, dude. We got some time to come back and with refreshed hatred uh, for everything. No, it's like we'll leave that to the man babies.
Yeah, they're already triggered by your hat and T-shirt right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I should have worn something like another Star Wars shirt.
Rogue One, it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, Rogue One's good. I watched it. I watched it over the break. Hadn't watched it in a while, and I really like that movie, man.
So good.
I think that movie. Again, man babies are gonna suffer, but it's like right there after Return of the Jedi for me. It's it's the original trilogy, right? For me, Empire, Episode 4, Return of the Jedi, and then Rogue One's right there. It's because I really like it. I really like it a lot. But Joel, I know that you've been busy. I'm a family guy, so I really don't have the luxury of exploring movie theaters as you have. But I know that you went ahead and watched a bunch of movies that were out.
That's right, man. I'm a bachelor at heart, so I enjoy my time at the movies, and I feel for you a bit. But we're gonna try and make it out to some movies, maybe. Who knows?
Ladies, Joel Jones available. nolotime@gmail.com.
Oh no, there goes the comment section.
There you go.
Yeah. So a funny thing enough, though, I am a family man, but I am a family man in a different way.
Yeah.
I actually am the guy who convinces my family. I don't even have to work hard at it. They enjoy it as well as to go out to the movies usually around Christmas. So, I usually take my family out either on Christmas Day or around Christmas weekend to see a Star Wars movie, because the last 3 years we've had a Star Wars movie. So I've been spoiled with that. I really have enjoyed that. But this year I actually ended up seeing with my family two movies. We saw Aquaman and we saw Bumblebee, and those are two the big box office, geeky nerdy movies out there. Of course, you've got Mary Poppins and other films that had come out, but I was interested to see how, especially a movie like Aquaman, would perform, simply because DC is the one that needed to win the box office, and they needed not just a win, but they needed a victory.
Yeah, they're the ones. They're the ones that needed to prove something.
They needed a film to champion right now after all that they've been through with Justice League and so forth. But before I go into how it performed, watching Aquaman, I went in with expectations, to see Jason Momoa be just as good as he was in Justice League, if not better, because I actually liked him in that movie. I also was really interested to see what they would do with the character of Manta, knowing that he was going to be in there, and that's a very important character in Aquaman's world. So with all that being said, Aquaman is a good movie. I can understand why it's been rated the way it's been online. For people saying that it's a solid film, but it's a good time at the cinema. Everybody acts pretty well. I think the only thing that bothered me from an acting standpoint was character chemistry when you're talking about relationships and stuff that really should have been a little more moving, a little bit more emotional. Wasn't as powerful as I would have liked it to have been. And I think James Wan has struggled with that in some other movies that he's done before that I've watched. If it's still something just not necessarily a strong suit, he's more into the fun and the explosions and the the big world kind of stuff, and he delivers on that. And definitely he's built an amazing universe under the sea. I mean, he really did a lot of creative liberty and went for the stuff that I would put in the ridiculous category. Without spoiling, I mean, there's literally a sequence where an octopus is playing the drums. I mean, it's like stuff that you would not.
Something like out of the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, dude. It's
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
it could have not. It could have been a nod because
yeah.
if I'm not wrong, there's probably an octopus playing the drums in The Little Mermaid.
Exactly. He could
Yeah,
have been a nod to Little Mermaid.
yeah,
I don't
seriously.
know. It's very possible. There's stuff like that though, and there's a nod to ESPN. I mean, there's different stuff that he does in there that just to have fun with it. Some of the jokes though don't land. Be honest with you, but a lot of it works, and I appreciate more so the effort to put that humor in the movie than them refraining from doing it at all and just going dark and brooding with moments where you smirk. No, this is a movie that you don't go in with any serious, expectations like you would in, a Batman vs Superman or a Justice League movie. This is a movie where they're not taking themselves seriously. It's very lighthearted. There's a lot of color. CGI is questionable at scenes. I'm just being honest with you, Obed.
Okay.
It's fine for the most part. I mean, it's not gonna, but there are scenes that to me it did take me out of the movie. There's some stuff that was done that I'm like, I don't think it's gonna hold up 10 years from now. Just being honest with you, with the way technology is going. But for what they did for today, it's good enough. It's fine. But Aquaman's a good movie, and it was top of the box office.
Yeah, I'm actually on Box Office Mojo right now, and it looks like it's at around 223 million for total, and it'll most likely dominate next weekend as well. On the box office based on projections. So I'm glad it's doing well. I think this is better than Justice League already, right?
It's better than Justice
numbers,
League.
yeah.
In fact, it's actually right behind Wonder Woman. It's right on the edge of it. I think right now where it stands, it's like maybe a couple million off from it actually, which is pretty interesting. So I mean that means it's being received pretty well for a DC movie, and they're sending messages back to Warner's of what people are saying, messages of what they want. So, and they want more of this. And I actually, I'm not by no means campaigning for this at all. I'm not sponsored by these people by any means. But with that being said, but I got the AMC A-list pass, so that's how I was able to see this movie and see Bumblebee. So I might actually use it to see again Aquaman, just so that way I can have more thoughts on it and digest it a little bit more, because I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that I missed that was going on. There's a lot of really cool nods, regardless that when you watch it, Obed, I know you'll pick up on it because you're a fan of DC like me. As we still talk about the movies, but we like these characters.
Yeah. I think it's hit and miss, right? Again, we think that Man of Steel is criminally underrated and underappreciated. I think it's a great movie. So I'm interested in seeing Aquaman, but I'm not dying to see it, Joel.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, just to go into a little bit of spoiler territory between you and me, right? And
sure.
Spoiler alert for the guys listening. Any connection between this movie and anything else?
Is there any connection to this movie? Anything else? There is a small connection to Justice League.
Okay.
And then there is a connection to another. Basically, they're set up for another Aquaman movie. That's about it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Nothing like setting like a Flash movie, nothing like that. Nothing
so they're not actually teasing like a major thing coming.
Nope.
Or okay, good to know. I mean, I can go in without that expectation because it was kind of bugging me that I didn't know if this was setting up for something else. So now
you can watch this standing alone and have never watched any other DC movies and be fine.
Cool, good to know. And how about Bumblebee, man? Because that movie was really interesting to me because it reviewed very, very well. This is a soft reboot of the Transformers franchise, and we were cautiously optimistic at the beginning, but then after that, it was like, oh wait, this is supposed to be good. So what's up with that?
No, I'll kick it off right away and get to the point. It's much better than Aquaman. It's probably the best movie of December that I've seen. Of course, I've not seen Mary Poppins, so I'm sure that's a great
other
movie
than
too.
Spider-Verse.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
Spider-Verse that's just gold. But there's an argument for where that movie needs to get some nominations, and we'll see what happens there. But at Bumblebee, it has been a while since I walked out of the movie theater with a smile on my face after seeing a Transformers film.
That's good, man.
And I did.
Good. Yeah. I mean, I skipped the last two. I haven't even watched the last night yet. I haven't bothered watching, getting it on Blu-ray or watching it at all.
And honestly, there's no need to. It's not that
okay.
good.
Well, that's good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. This movie though, yes, any director could have, done a movie where these characters are in their G1 appearances, and it's any other person could have done this. So there's a lot of fan service that goes on here by Travis Knight, but he really delivers also on just a good, solid story. And the acting it's fine. It's not great. There's some cringy teenager drama that happens in the movie. I'm not gonna lie to you, but if you're a fan of Bumblebee as a character, you will have a good time. I actually recommend watching it in 3D. Usually Transformers movies, if I go to the theaters, I'll watch it in 3D. This one I did as well. There's an amazing Cybertron sequence. Probably, to me, the best sequence in the whole movie. There's something I know.
So they're setting up. They're setting up for something big.
Oh, there is absolutely more that is coming in this world, and I hope Travis Knight is the one to do it. And they do connect it to the movies, the Shia LaBeouf movies, so it is connected to that world, the Michael Bay films. But they've distanced themselves from a timing standpoint, and then just with some of the direction and the feeling of the universe. But yeah, I mean, there's a moment in there like Soundwave does something, Obed. I mean, the nerd in me like squealed in the theater. Like you,
tell me
Obed.
Okay. So just to you're killing me, because to me, I had one of the biggest problems that I had with the Michael Bay movies was that Soundwave, which voiced by Frank Welker, who was the original actor for Soundwave and Megatron from the original cartoons, he didn't have the reverb. Tell me that he does have the reverb.
Oh, he has the reverb.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know I had to set you free on that. Yeah.
Like the first time that I saw him on, I think he was on the second movie. He was a satellite, right? Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's Soundwave, and then he was Soundwave, and I was like, no, that's Dr. Claw. That's not. That's Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. That's not Soundwave because he didn't have the reverb.
No, Soundwave. Oh, dude. There's some stuff that happens here. The triple changers.
See, now I'm really excited, Joe.
Oh no, you should be excited as a Transformers fan. Yeah, it's good. No, it's a great movie. So I put this movie above Aquaman and movies I enjoyed. But it's no slight on Aquaman. It's a good movie. But Bumblebee, Obed. I mean, there's nothing more I can say except that it's finally Transformers is back. I think the other movies. If you like them, good for you. But I think there's way too many problems with those movies. This you can watch and have a great time. Watch with your family.
Day one get for me then.
Seriously,
I'll definitely get a day one. Cool, awesome, man, awesome. Yeah, I was playing catch up, dude. I know that you also watched a couple other things on Netflix.
Yeah. Well, I watched I watched The Lost in Space finally because Obed, we're big sci-fi dudes. Like fantasy, we are nerds. Yes. Pull up my glasses.
Hypothetical glasses in this case.
Hypothetical glasses. Yeah. Like fantasy stuff is fine. Technically sci-fi fantasy is a thing too. I get it, but I focus more on the science fiction, the stuff that connects scientifically that I connect to more than guys in the woods with swords and minotaurs. So with Lost in Space, it's awesome because it's all science based. It's all like. You have to figure out, people versus the world, literally global warming, like what's going to happen. And I love it. So I can really connect to it because even though, like it's not like your whole family's going to jump in a ship and fly away for safety anytime soon, I hope. But, for the sake of the show, you can still connect to what they're doing because they make it all believable and realistic. It's 10 episodes. It's a quick binge. But I recommend it. It's a nice family drama. A lot of really cool stuff there with Will Robinson and his robot, and they do the robot really well. There's some stuff that happens at the end that you could tell was probably the budget of the entire Netflix series. There, just some CGI work that was done, but it's a lot of fun. I recommend it, Obed, and aside from that, dude. Last but not least, from a gaming standpoint, I did some Super Mario Smash Bros. and I got that for Christmas. So that was a nice Christmas gift from the family. Thank you. Shout out to the fam if you're listening to this. But yeah, I got Smash Bros. You can see actually the poster behind me
Oh, cool.
that I have for it.
I saw that.
That was in my group. My gift.
That's pretty nice. So was that like a special edition that they got you, or was that like a separate thing?
No, it's a separate thing. I guess they got like a whole set of different stuff that came with it, and this is one of the things. So I was like, I gotta keep this for the show.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's pretty neat.
It's a legit location in the game. A lot of boss fights to unlock people, so I just need to spend more time fighting so I can unlock everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting through it, man.
Cool. I heard that there's an exploit to unlock everything pretty quick. It'll take you about 2 hours to get everything, and it's basically going into like basically what the arcade mode is, right?
Yes.
And you can like your second fight is always gonna be a new character. So you basically go in, you win 2 fights. You can set it on like easy, easy difficulty. Easy. Yeah, just set it on easy difficulty. Beat the first one, beat the and then beat the new challenger, and then exit the game. So just like straight up exit it after you beat the new character, and then launch back into the game, and then that character would be unlocked, and that way you can just go back in and keep unlocking guys. So yeah, because it's a lot.
That's a great hit. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, because there's a lot, dude. There's like 76 characters or something.
Yes.
Yeah, it's insane.
A lot of locations, a lot of characters.
But, yeah, it's a lot to unlock. So so I mean, just a pro tip for you.
Thank you.
Also, I did see that because we were talking about the controllers, right?
Yes.
So Hori just released this week a wireless controller, like their version of the Pro controller.
Okay.
I heard it's okay. I heard the power race is better, but it does have a rechargeable battery on the Hori. I still stand by the 8-bit though. If you're looking into that, or the legit like Pro controller. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a tip for you.
Thanks.
On my end, dude, I finally got to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. So
yeah,
catch up here. Holy crap, Joel. No, it was good. Not as good as the first one. Like straight up, I really really enjoyed the first one quite a bit more. It did had its moments, right? It was well written. It was well paced. So no issues. Like the movie's actually sound, right? It's well paced. No issues. The acting's good. Effects are good. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary, and I think that's what the big thing was, that the movie was very safe. I still liked it, and I had a good time, but it didn't blow me away. I did see, the part that connects to Endgame, which we already talked about, the trailer.
I spoiled for you.
Yeah, you sort of spoiled it for me, but I sort of knew that it was something like that was happening. Also, there's like seriously, like social media needs to do a better job at keeping things under wraps, because like there's videos everywhere and people post crap, and I don't want to start muting people for spoilers, but I'll probably have to mute a couple, or at least avoid social media when Endgame comes out. At least I think I'm gonna watch it day one though. But we'll see. Depending on how it is, Joe.
Oh man,
we have to make a. Joel, seriously, it's like if someone from work's listening, Joel, we should ask for that day off. We should go to the movie theater.
Hey, you never know. The timing might work out where it might just be an actual. You never know.
Yeah, you never know, right? Yeah, this is late April, so yeah, it could be. Yeah, we're hoping that it's not the case, but sure.
Right. But you never know.
We never know.
We'll see.
But other than that, man, like I said, just went back and watched older movies during that time, other than Ant-Man. Again, watched Rogue One, watched one of the Narnia movies.
Wow.
Watched Toy Story, Incredibles 2. which we got for my daughter's Christmas. So we watched that. That was fun, man. That movie's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So just man, spend time with family.
it's the
Uh,
best.
Finish that Ratchet and Clank PS4 remake they made. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. It suffers in some places with the writing, and I know it's because this is supposed to be a tie-in to the movie. The movie's not supposed to be very good, but everything else that's in game, the gameplay itself, and the writing that's in game is actually pretty good. A lot of fun. Unlocked all the weapons. Went back and did a couple other things. So that was pretty good. Jump back into Street Fighter Five, Joel, because I haven't done that in like a year, and I'm feeling it. I mean, it's still fun. It still looks fine in some areas, except like that game looks fine, except in everything except Ken's face. Ken's face still like with all the patches and all the updates that Capcom has put out. I don't know why Capcom hasn't. They haven't had the chance to freaking fix that face because he still looks awful. But try it out. Four of the DLC characters for past season that I didn't get a chance to actually try out at all. Sagat's pretty good. I like the changes that they made to Sagat. Some of the balance changes to the game overall feels okay. That game's still a pretty good value, like at $20 for arcade edition, and you get season 1 and 2 for the characters. And the single player that they have right now in that game is very robust because you have the story single player, and you have a very robust arcade mode that they added, of course, hence the arcade edition. So I mean, for $20, I know that it was for around 15-20 bucks for the holidays. I think it's $20 right now on PSN. There was some controversy because the end of last month for when they were doing Capcom Cup, Capcom put in ads in the game, and they removed them because there was they were just doing a test during Capcom Cup, and so those ads are gone. So I didn't see any ads. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Nothing annoying. I did fight against Kage, the new character, or sort of like the evil Ryu character that they released last month for Capcom Cup. He looks cool. He looks. I didn't buy it. It's $6 to buy the character. But I did have a standard fight on arcade mode against Kage, and it looked fine. I'm interested to see try the character out. So I may jump back and do that. So I think I may just seriously just go back into Street Fighter until Kingdom Hearts comes out, and then the new Kingdom Hearts from there until backlog. Just then Resident Evil and Devil May Cry and Sekiro and all of those stuff comes out. So we'll see. Other than that, Joel, man, played a bunch of Battlefront 2. And again,
Nice.
man, babies, I'm sorry, but that game's good.
It's good.
If you guys are still like hating on this game for no reason, you guys are wrong, man.
I love that Obed says it with a smile on his
this
face and the
game
Last
is
Jedi
good,
cap.
dude. This game is good. It's good, dude. Like there's like no like all right. So I went back and started trying to level up the characters that or the classes that I hadn't leveled up. And man, I was just hooked. I was hooked. Like there's no other way to express it, man. And this game was $10 during the holidays. I
Yeah.
think it's like 15 right now, 20 tops. Even for $20, this game is absolutely worth it. Highly recommend it. Suck it up. Game's good. Sorry. Sorry,
EA
guys.
fixed it. It's
So
okay.
they fixed it. They fixed it,
fine.
and they did a great job at fixing it. Like no lie, if this game would have released like this back last year, like this game would have gotten like 8.5s, even 9s on reviews,
Yeah.
because that's just the amount of content that you get. Plus, the single player experience is not great, but it's fine. So
Yeah.
yeah, Man, it's nuts, dude. I keep going back to that game. I don't know why. It's like, hey, it's Star Wars,
It's
but
Star Wars.
it's other, other than that, it's Star Wars, and it is a good game. I understand the hate that this game got. This game's a year old now. Over a year now, and I mean it sucks, but it's the truth.
It's true.
So sorry. We don't have a lot of news, Joe, because it's been a
No.
slow news last couple of weeks. But we do have a rumor, so take this with a grain of salt, that apparently on a movie site, I'm not sure if it was IMDb or another site, uh, on the credits for Avengers Endgame, Hugh Jackman was listed. So, yeah, we'll. Is this a rumor that we don't know? Did this come from like Wikipedia, where anyone can go in and add a name and all that stuff? So we don't know, right?
If you Google right now Hugh Jackman upcoming movies, and you look at what's slated for 2019, Endgame is one of them. By Google, like officially in their Google slate of movies, and that's right there with movies before Greatest Showman, all these other ones. You've got Endgame listed on there. If you check the IMDb credits, excuse me, he's also listed on there as well. Look, the thing that's been floating around has an image of him, that says, oh, like he's been spotted on set. But that picture that's been floating around is a picture from the 2013 The Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
So that's just like don't go by a picture, because those pictures as of right now are nothing real. But the reports of him being on set, I mean, gosh, Obed, it could happen. I mean, you're talking. This is nothing new with Hugh Jackman. He's always said that he would love to be a part of the Avengers movies. Um, when the Fox deal happened, he said that he wants Wolverine to live on, but of course, he would love to see Wolverine in the Avengers, and he said the Avengers would be the one reason he actually would come back. The other thing too that's interesting is looking at past cinematic history. Oh, but you remember the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man series? I was talking to you about this earlier, about how with I think it was Spider-Man 2, he was supposed to make a cameo in the movie, Hugh Jackman, not even as Wolverine, because Sony wouldn't allow, Fox, and they both wouldn't play well together of having Wolverine in their movie. Makes sense, as it's a cherished Marvel property, but they were gonna have just Hugh Jackman himself be in the movie, and of course we know that didn't work out. And then the same thing with the Punisher. He was also supposed to be in the movie. They couldn't get the actor who plays Punisher, so they got his stunt double instead, who looks just like him, to have clear his face in there, so to make it look the Punisher's in his world. Obed, maybe it's a situation like that. Maybe Hugh Jackman was on set. Maybe he is going to be in this movie, but maybe it's going to be where it's just a Hugh Jackman cameo, which I would be fine and very happy with that as well. But
even if it's a cameo, just acknowledging that this is where we're going, right?
Yeah, him riding a motorcycle or something.
Yeah, seriously, and or post credit,
Yeah.
scene or something, something that'll set up the universe. I mean, we know that as of right now, the Disney Fox takeover is done.
Yeah.
That we were waiting until this week. That thing's done. So, I believe Kevin Feige said that he was gonna start planning X-Men stuff in the next few weeks.
He said the next 6 months he could start actually utilizing them.
Utilizing
which,
it.
I mean, that's perfect timing with this Avengers movie coming
Exactly.
out. You can tease it and then put something out there officially,
That's exactly right. So you can tease it, or you can put in tease. Maybe you can
Yeah.
tease a couple of properties on this thing. Maybe you can tease
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
X-Men and Fantastic Four, or Silver Surfer or something. You can definitely go places now. So very interesting. This is something that I've mentioned since since probably the
You did.
podcast began, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's a cameo from Hugh Jackman in the movie, I'll just squeal like a little girl, and
Yeah.
because that this to me would bring it full circle, This is the moment that would bring everything that Marvel's has been trying to do for the past
Yeah.
12 years. It'll bring it for full circle, and yeah, this would be the moment that I would say is like, all right, it's done. Let's
Wow.
close down the shop, go home.
That's it. Drop the mic.
Yeah, drop the mic, leave the place. Like you can have Justice League 3, like skip 2, go straight to 3. Do like Microsoft. It's like call it Justice League 360 and come up with some crazy, character matchup. I don't not even that's gonna work, dude.
So true. You can't stop it at that point. I mean, you really well they've done already right now. They're set for the next 10 years at the minimum. But yeah, I'm hopeful that whatever they do to bring in the X-Men characters is going to be a huge huge surprise to us. So Hugh Jackman would be a great way to get started.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited. I'm really excited for Endgame, and to see what the next phase is, because they have not said what it is. They usually say in advance. Like right now, we would know what the next set of movies is, and other than Black Panther 2,
Yes.
we don't know anything else.
Yeah, it's super quiet.
Yeah, so they really haven't said anything. So I'm very very curious to see.
I'll be at Comic-Con this coming year. I got in again, so I think it's going to be a big Comic-Con. Marvel's going to probably have a crazy presence out there and put on a show. So I'm expecting big announcements this year.
I think so too, man. So we'll see. Joe, moving on to gaming, Jack Black, a guy that I like.
I like Jack Black.
I like Jack Black. He does pretty okay movies. He's pretty funny. He seems like a legit guy. So he opened up a YouTube channel. It's supposed to be a gaming centered YouTube channel. Jablinski Games, or Jablinski is the name of the channel, and right now it only has 2 videos that are around 50 seconds each. And last time I checked, it was like 2.3 million subscribers.
Yeah, it's getting crazy amount of people, 2.5 million.
Yeah, and with like no content, so that's sort of not sitting very well with some of the content creators on YouTube. Whatever. I mean, it's Jack Black. It doesn't it doesn't impact me necessarily. Us, our most of our audience comes from the podcast version. We do appreciate the video viewers as well, but it doesn't necessarily affect us, since we're more of a podcast channel, not a gaming content creator.
And I'm not going to accuse the guy of stealing people. Like, people are subscribed to him. People are probably still subscribed to others.
Absolutely. So yeah, right now Jablinski is at
You subscribed?
2.6. I did. Of course I did. I'm curious to see what this thing is, man.
Oh man.
So he's gonna be posting every Friday. I guess 1 video a week. We don't know what this is gonna be about. I'm hoping this is not a Fortnite channel, because I will unsubscribe. So I am hoping
That's a warning from Obed.
I am hoping that this is not a Fortnite channel. I hope that he does. And I'm not, again, I'm no one to say what Jack Black should or should not do, right? But in my opinion, he should focus on bringing to light more obscure niche games that are out there that are very good. Some of the games from Platinum and Atlas that are out there. Some of the smaller indie stuff that's very good. Again, I'm when it comes to indie games, I'm half and half. I think. I'm 75-25. I think 75% of indie games are just not good, and then the other 25 are definitely worth looking at. And from that 25, 10% of that are fantastic.
Sure.
So I'm jaded when it comes to that, and but I hope that he uses this venue to uh, just bring some obscure games that have been out there, like say for example a game that not a lot of people have played, like Catherine, say for example,
Right.
which is gonna get a re-release on PS4. Um, Things like that. Bring do some obscure things like that. And some of the games that we saw at CO Otaku when we went last September, some of those other like the Under Night Amber Earth games, and some of those games that are a little bit more obscure. I would love to see him do something like that and bring those games out so people can check them out. So
For sure.
that'd be pretty good. But yeah, very interested to see how 2.6 million subscribers right now, man. And there's like no content. It's insane, dude.
I think it's curiosity. It's just
It
like you're
is, yeah.
saying. Everybody wants to see what he's gonna do. I can't imagine him just taking one franchise and just doing that. Like I think Jack Black's gonna do whatever he wants, and he should because he's Jack Black. But I mean, like I could see it being a mixture of commentary. I could, including not even like just gaming. I could see just being key culture commentary like sometimes because I think that's just the kind of guy he has a lot of thoughts and a lot of opinions on stuff. And
Yeah.
then I think you'll see some let's plays. I mean, like you're saying, hopefully it's a nice variety. It's not just the stuff that's big and popular. Though it'd be cool
Yeah.
to see him play like the latest thing that comes up. But it's gonna be also cool to see him play random stuff. You're like, ooh, this I'll play this because Jack Black spent some time and it looks good and or it doesn't look good and he's making fun of it and being Jack Black and making jokes or whatever. I don't know. I hope to see a fun personality mixed with some good information.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's a good, like you said, he's a good personality, has pretty good reach, well connected. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm very very curious. I'm looking. I guess tomorrow we'll know tomorrow, right?
That's
Because
right.
I guess tomorrow he's posting
First.
his first like actual content video. And wondering what the format is and all that. So it's all very interesting, and it's also very interesting to see. Um, I wouldn't call Jack Black necessarily an A-lister or an A
No,
celebrity, but he's a well recognized celebrity.
he's a
Um,
name.
yeah, he's a name, and it's interesting to see someone like Jack Black coming into YouTube. Like, what's using YouTube as a medium to put out his content. So it's interesting to see that celebrities going this way. Of course, there's a couple on Twitch and whatnot here and there, but just to have like a dedicated thing. Of course, this is not his job. His job is something else. But it's great to see. It's great to see that that happening. It's like Xavier Wood from WWE with up down down.
Yeah.
He's doing very well. And he's a legit gamer, and most of the guys over at WWE that he's featured with are legit. So that's another good channel, actually. Channel recommendations. That's actually a pretty good channel. So I want to check it out. So yeah, I'm curious to see what it says, man.
We'll find
We'll
out
find out pretty soon.
tomorrow.
Joe, as I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, sir, why you selling fake consoles on the internets?
I thought it'd be fun to try. If the kids will believe it if Joel says it.
There you go. Yeah, that's exactly the point.
Yeah. Ooh.
Also, Joe's a really big liar.
I know, right?
Yeah. So I know that we're late to the party on this one,
Yeah.
because this happened. This happened the week that we recorded the last episode. And we didn't do any news on that episode because it was a special like end of the year episode,
Yeah.
and we didn't do an episode last week when everything just came tumbling down.
Yeah.
But there was a rapper called Soulja Boy, right? I'm To be honest with you, Joe, I heard of him, but I could not recognize one of his songs.
Yeah.
If you told me, he's not Snoop Dogg or one of the
Sure.
one
Sure.
of the old school rappers that I would know.
Sure.
I know Drake because I listen to Drake every time there's a basketball game, so I know he is just because of that. But it's so he has a website, right? It's SouljaWatch.com. And on this side, he was selling a set of consoles that he was calling the Soulja game. And
Oh,
these consoles, which by the way, selling the console is not illegal, right? He can
no.
buy these pieces of plastic from whatever manufacturer he was getting it from China, and that's totally fine. You can sell whatever you want. It doesn't matter. He was claiming that he sold 5 million. Those are like switched sort of numbers. No, that's not remotely true. This guy would probably have like 5 billion in the pocket if he sold 5 million, because he was selling these
Like
consoles
100 or
for,
something.
yeah, he was selling the consoles for 100% over the listing price on like AliExpress and Amazon.
Yeah.
So he sold his consoles, and the problem was that these consoles came in preloaded with ROMs. ROMs, of course, being game files that via an emulator you can play on these boxes. So that's a big problem because he doesn't own these games. He was claiming that he got a license for these games, and these games were legit. That was not true, of course, because these are made up counterfeit fake consoles from China, and in the words of Giant Bomb, China don't care. So that was a big problem, right? He was infringing in the Trademark Counterfeiting Act, and that could have been jail time. Supposedly, there was a cease and desist from Nintendo, and that made him take down the consoles last week. I think it was like 3 days. It was over the weekend. It was over the New Year's weekend, and he took everything down. Like the site's still up, and he's selling the fake Apple Watches and the fake AirPods, but not the consoles anymore. See, and that's a big difference, right? Because you're selling fake AirPods that you can connect to your phone, whatever, right? You're not selling music or selling content. But when you're selling these consoles that are packaged with hundreds of ROMs, that is a big problem. Joel, I don't know who in the right mind actually bought any of these consoles, right? From the people that I've seen, like some YouTubers just bought the consoles to show people that they were trash. Um, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there. Review Tech USA covered this issue ad nauseum. Dreamcast guy, another one. So the issue has been covered by several YouTubers. They have a lot more information, a lot more in-depth information about this. If you're interested to see the console, also John Tron, he made a pretty funny video about how terrible the consoles were. So also, it's interesting to see, man, that this he was selling these consoles at double the price from like Alibaba or whatever, or AliExpress, and what's funny is that he was not even shipping these consoles. Like people were getting the packages, and the packages were coming straight from the distribution center. Or whatever place in China was sending these things over. Also, there was issues with shipping. Like people paid for like 2 day shipping and never got the consoles, or paid for 2 day shipping and it took a week. There was a lot of problems going on with that. What was And then a few days later, he said that he was going to build an esports team. I don't know who in their right mind, after selling fake consoles online, would go on and say, "Hey guys, I'm building an esports team," because you're not gonna go anywhere. I mean, your reputation's already in the in the trash can. What are you gonna do? What struck me was that he was very I would I would rude's not the right word. I think I'm thinking of a word that I probably not I should not say on this podcast, family friendly podcast. He was being an a hole, right? He was being a gigantic a hole on Twitter, saying that he was untouchable and calling people obscenities and just flinging homophobic slurs at people that were against him. Some of his fans started calling Rich from Review Tech USA racist because he was pointing out the problems that were going on. It's like, no, dude, this is illegal. You don't understand. This is not about race. This is about you selling an illegal product. Because you can buy this counterfeit stuff from China, right? No one's stopping you. Um, Trademark laws and all this stuff is very different in China. But when you're a U.S. based company and you're trying to sell these sort of things, then there's going to be a problem. Also, very interestingly, Joe, I went to the premium outlets that are close by Disney over the holiday break, and they used to have like three or four of those like little shops that were selling counterfeit consoles. Because I've seen them in the past. They were all closed down, like they were shuttered down. So it looks like Nintendo's very, very serious about just all of these counterfeit consoles not flying. So it's a serious issue, and he didn't take it seriously. He was facing jail time if he refused to not go through with it. But he did after the fact pull all of these consoles down. He was also selling a handheld version, and he was also selling a console called the Fuse, which is a Chinese exclusive console that it had legit games, but no legitimate way of downloading those games and playing those games in the U.S. So that console is also pulled, which he was touting to be an Xbox One X comparable device, and that is absolutely not true. So, Joe, what do you think about this whole debacle, man?
A lot of thoughts about it. It's pretty sounds very premature and immature at the same time. Somebody who's just thinking about money and a way to make money, and and I understand that he's probably trying to be a businessman to some degree. However you want to look at it, as an entertainer, and with the other products that he sells, not just we're talking about this one console situation.
Yeah.
But with that being said, just thinking about money, not understanding what you're dealing with, there's a lot there. Obviously, now it's a big lesson. I hope that has been learned out of this, that you don't just try and make a buck and then realize, wait a second, there's copyright laws and there's things that are protected for a reason. So yeah, just some lessons to be learned here in this circumstance. And with all that being said too, like, it's also a moral lesson for people of, like, don't get something that is not from the authentic retailer themselves and expect it to be great. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's not a surprise that people start being like, wait a second, it's not that good. It's not Nintendo backed. It's not anybody backed except for this entertainer that, it doesn't matter how rich of an entertainer you are, or higher scale, upper scale, it doesn't matter. Like, you're not at the end of the day, you're not anybody in the industry that can stand with the stuff behind them. There's people who are in the industry, Obed, Microsoft, that they still can't even get it right. So you've got an artist over here trying to get it going. Like, guys, expectations here. But yeah, Obed, it's a lot of lessons to be learned. It's interesting sort of thing to look at from a distance. I know again we relate to the party talking about it, but I still find it is a very interesting topic to the community as a whole, just because of people's responses to it, surprises, people's anger. It's like, come on, guys, don't. I'm not shocked by this. I'm not angered by this. Like it's not. It's very apparent. This is not a Nintendo product, so of course
No,
it's not gonna be great.
yeah, and the problem is that it was not only Nintendo. These things were loaded with Neo Geo ROMs
Oh
and
my gosh.
a lot of other stuff. So so when you have this sort of issue, it did have, I think, like one PlayStation game or something. This games didn't run well, Joel. Like I said, there's plenty of video. If you want to see what these things are really, just watch the JonTron video because it's pretty funny. And he goes through what these things are, and they're just not good devices.
No
Um,
surprise.
yeah, and also the same box that he was selling that was listed in Amazon for like $100 less, that got pulled, and yeah, it looks like Nintendo was very serious about this, right? They released these mini consoles, and they want to own the market. Sony has their own mini console. I mean, it was a gigantic dud, but it's out there. Um, so it's in, but what got me, and I think what made more of the news was his attitude towards one the his own sense of pride and accomplishment because there was no accomplishment, and he was very proud of it, and also his attitude about the gaming community. Why, if you're trying to be part of this community, why are you attacking the people that are supposed to be on your side, that are supposed to uh, put your product out there and uh, make sure that the people can see what you're trying to sell? It was beyond me. I mean, it was very, like you said, it was very immature. Definitely not a smart move. There's nothing about you being a rapper, nothing about you being being black. This was the problem was that this was not legal, and uh, you know whether you like reality or not, that's a whole different thing. He did say on his Twitter, "Is like I have to." I think one of his last tweet about this was like, "I had to boss up and do what I had to do," or something like that. I'm just paraphrasing. That was the day that the consoles disappeared from the site. But yeah, his attitude was just very negative and just very dismissive of what the community had to say, and then coming in and saying, "Yo, I want to build an esports team." It's like, well, if you want to build an esports team, how about you don't sell this counterfeit crap and get legit sponsors? Like you're already a celebrity, you're already an influencer. Get with Razer, and get with the HyperX, get with Steel Series. Find a decent, legit sponsor, and make your way to an esports team the legit way. Just don't fake this crap, man. But yeah, I mean, we again late to the party, but I really wanted to talk about it, Joel. I've been dying to talk about it with you, so
Yeah,
yeah.
crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, sure. We'll see. I mean, I guess he's safe for now, but we'll see where it goes. Joel, the last bit of news that I have here, real quick, because it's sort of a nothing burger for now. It's they did announce Persona 5R, which was rumored to be I guess an expansion version, like an expanded version of Persona 5. We don't know yet what it is. Atlas released a very short trailer saying that there is more information coming up in March. So I am very curious to see what this is. Very excited to see what this is, Joel. Actually, speaking of Persona 5, they did release the special that was the continuation for the anime over the weekend. I watched it this morning. It was pretty good. Pretty good. The problem with, again, Persona 5 is that they try to fit in 50 minutes. They try to fit like 10 hours of the game. And it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard, man. So like there was a sequence in the game that was really good. That actually took about an hour and a half. It was like 6 minutes, and I was like, I was a little bit disappointed because it's just hard. I mean, I know that you want to get the story out, but the way that this Persona 5 anime ran, it felt like they wanted to do everything, and they did it very fast. It was like very on the nose, very in your face, versus the Persona 4 anime, which was a lot more better paced, and you did go through the major story points, and you still had an enjoyable experience. This felt like, oh, we got to do this right away, right away, right away, and that I didn't like. But overall, I mean, if you're not wanting to spend 115 hours playing the game, watch the anime. So I would recommend just playing the game, but it's up to you. But I'm curious to see what this is. I'm very excited, Joel. Of course, B5 was one of my favorite games of 2017. Now, holy crap! So
flies.
I know. So I'm curious to see what this is. I'm excited. Can't wait. So other than that, Joel, that's what I got, man. Nothing else on the docket. Hoping for next week to be a more interesting news week.
Yeah, you never know. Some stuff might break. I know we've got some rumors of a Shazam new trailer coming out soon and whatnot, so we'll see. But guys, with that being said, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch us here or listen to us on No Load Time. Go ahead and give us a subscribe on podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Spotify now. No Load Time, of course. If you're an iTunes subscriber, we really ask you to drop us a review. And then if you can always stay connected to us through our social media. So go ahead and give us a follow at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Also, guys, make sure to send in any questions, comments, feedback to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. We really appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you on our next episode of No Load Time.
Thank you, guys, and we'll see you again next week.